Don't move to Austin, Texas until you watch this video. In this video, I'm going to go over my personal experience from living in Austin for almost 2 years now. Get a fresh perspective on here. I'm not an Austinite, but I feel like I've been living here long enough to give my overall opinion on the place. So today we're going to go over the pros and cons of living in Austin, Texas from my personal perspective. Firstly, we're going to go over the pros. So first pro is the communities and networking. Austin, Texas is like a hub for just networking. Any community you can think of, it's probably here. For example, there's tons of business communities, there's tons of entrepreneurship communities, foodie communities, workout communities. And what I mean by communities is just like little like groups or people that get together that share a mutual interest. There's tons of it in Austin, Texas. Second pro is Austin, Texas is a foodie hub. There is tons of different foods and food trucks galore. There's so many food places to try every type of food your heart's desire. Any type of food you can think of, it's probably here in Austin, Texas. So if you're a foodie, you will love it here. Secondly, from a real estate perspective, Austin, Texas has a diverse pool of types of properties. For example, just 45 minutes from downtown, you can own a 10-acre ranch with tons of land for under $1 million. Or you can live in a cheaper downtown condo at the cost of land and space. And there's tons of suburbia areas on the outskirts of the Austin city limits. So these are pros to me because yes, the cost of living has gone up, but it is diverse enough for it to be affordable if you're willing to commute a little bit, depending on where you work. Okay. Another huge pro for Texas in general, and specifically Austin, is there's no state individual income tax. So you're not taxed on the individual income level, which is a nice way to save some money if you live here. And another pro is local. Austin is very local business friendly. What I mean by this is like there's tons of small pop-up shops and local businesses that are very niche and branded to Austin that you won't find really anywhere else. Now this one isn't Austin specific, but it's Texas specific. And I believe, I'm not entirely sure, I didn't do my research on this, but I believe HEB in Texas was founded in Austin. It may be somewhere else, but they're basically the Walmart of Austin or of Texas. They're a huge grocery store chain, and they're probably worth billions of dollars, to be honest. So it's very local business friendly. And finally, my last couple pros. If you are planning on moving to Austin and you love music and art and film, look no further and move here like yesterday, because the Austin, Texas music, film, art industry is very much alive. Austin, Texas is known to be a music hippie city, and they have multiple music festivals every year. Just to name a few, we have Austin City Limits, which I haven't been to yet, but I heard is like the Coachella of Austin, Texas. And then we also have South by Southwest, which is another festival. And lastly, the pro I would like to mention, but I don't necessarily practice myself, is the nightlife. So the nightlife is, Austin does not sleep. It's kind of like New York. It does not sleep. There's always people awake every hour of the day and night. And the nightlife is pretty active. So if you like going out at night, if you like clubbing, going to bars, doing whatever at night, there's tons of places downtown and in the Austin city limits to explore and have fun in the nightlife. All right. Those are my personal pros of living in Austin for the past 2 years. Now, let's go over some of the cons. Cons, number 1 is the cost of living. Just in the past 2 years, the cost of living has gone up more than 50%. According to the National Association of Realtors, for example, the average price of a mortgage let's say, these are like ballpark numbers here, but like the average price of a $300,000 home mortgage about 2 years ago, you could look at paying between $1,500 to $2,000 a month total. Now, with inflation, cost of living, and increased demand for Austin, Texas metropolitan, the average cost of the home has gone up nearly $1,000. So that same $300,000 home is now going to cost you anywhere between $2,500 and $3,000. So that's a huge difference, and something to note if you do plan on moving here. The cost of living has increased. Next, con, something that I did not realize when I moved here, is the summer is extremely hot. It's so hot that when you walk into your car or get into your car, it feels like you're getting into a sauna until you blast the air and AC or whatever. It's pretty much like a sauna. And I believe this past year, 2023, Austin, Texas had a record of, I mean, it's probably broken this record multiple times, but this past year, it went 45 plus days at triple digit weather. So 100 plus degree weather for 45 plus days in a row, which is ungodly. So that's a big con for me, honestly. Next con, traffic. Traffic is very bad, and unless you want to pay a monthly toll fee to help with the traffic a little bit, it doesn't help that much. But if you want to pay the toll, it does help. But for example, traffic, if there's no traffic and it takes 20 minutes to get somewhere across the city, if there's traffic during rush hour, it will pretty much take either double or triple that amount of time to get to the same place without traffic. So just imagine that. If it takes 20 minutes without traffic, and then with traffic, it takes nearly double to even triple. And I'm speaking from personal experience, sitting in the freeway, literally parked for almost an hour. So if you don't like traffic, do not move here. Secondly, the weather is very unpredictable. Now the summers, you're gonna know it's gonna be deathly hot, but when it starts to get into like the fall and even spring, it's kind of like bipolar. Some days you'll have, like, let's say for example, in the middle of fall in November, some days it'll be like a clear 80 degrees, nice and sunny, partly cloudy, feels good outside. And then the very next day, it'll go to 40 degrees, cold, sweater weather. So it's like, it's literally the weather during the fall, winter, and like even spring. It's kind of bipolar. Like, you don't know. One day you'll wear a jacket and coat and sweats. Next day you'll wear a tank top and shorts and flip-flops. So that is something that is kind of annoying, honestly, living here. Because I used to live in San Diego for 8 years when I was in the Navy. And the weather there was pretty much coast, like all year round. It's pretty much the same. And that's what I used to love about it. You didn't have no bipolar weather like you do here. Next con, honestly, is there's not many neighborhoods here where things are walkable. And what I mean is basically everything requires you to drive. There's no like neighborhoods that you can just walk to your local market, and the walking score is low here. So if you like somewhere that you can live and literally walk to your local marketplace and get groceries and come back, you can't do that here. You need a car, you need public transportation. You need transportation. And this is my final con. My final con, honestly, is also another big one. Austin, Texas, and I believe most of Texas in general is pretty flat, which also kind of sucks because coming from San Diego, there's tons of places to hike, there's tons of places to camp and do outdoorsy things. And here there's not really much. Hiking here is more like walking a trail and walking through some flat landed forestry or whatever it may be, or a so-called mountain, but it'll be like a mini mountain hill. So it's very flat, not much hiking. There is a lot of outdoorsy stuff. If you want to visit Lake Travis, there's tons of like water sports out there. And then we also have the Colorado River, which runs through the middle of the city, which you can also do water activities, but you can't swim in it because I believe there's some reason why you can't swim in it. I believe it's because of debris and other like hazardous wastes. So you can only do like canoeing, paddleboarding, like boating activities on the Colorado River. And so that's gonna wrap it up, guys. That's gonna wrap up my personal pros and cons from living in Austin, Texas for almost 2 years, and my personal opinion on it. So if you plan on moving here and you watch to the end of this video, I am 100% grateful and deeply grateful that you've stayed here. Also, if you plan on moving here, or if you're buying or selling a home, whether it be 1 week, 1 month, or 1 year, contact me in the description below, whether it be call, text, email. I respond to texts the fastest. Don't be afraid to reach out. And until next time, guys, I hope I can show you around Austin if you're moving here. Peace.